And hello YouTube, this is GSmaniamsmart and I'm doing a brainy video for Gaming with GS, and today we're here on Guild Wars 2. I'm finally back. All the exams for my college are finished, so it feels really nice and feels really relieved. Thank you all for who watched the video that I made about, I don't know, a few days ago, telling you guys where I was. Appreciate all the support as usual. And if you haven't seen my latest video on the Overwatch beta, if you're interested in a shooter style game, it's been anticipated a lot this year. Blizzard actually made a really cool FPS called Overwatch. I really enjoyed it, so I do recommend you check it out if you're into that. But today we're on Guild Wars 2, and I want to show you guys how to get your Ascended Trinkets and your Ascended back piece. Now, we did already have videos on how to create your Ascended Armor and how to create your Ascended Weapon, but we didn't do Ascended Trinkets, even though I should have done that first, because those are literally the easiest ones to get. Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned to you guys, I actually changed my colors to be like spring colors. Like, it was April and I was like, you know what, I've been running around in blue and white so much for Christmas, it's spring now, let me go and use my toxic dye, which is sort of greenish and was like the most expensive one out of that dye pack that I got from the level 80 starter pack. I forget what they call it now. But so yeah, if you are very discouraged to craft your Ascended Armor, I would say definitely get your trinkets at least, because they're easy to get. It doesn't require much effort. It doesn't require much collecting even. All it requires is some laurels, and you know, it's a lot less tedious than the armor and the weapon. And so yeah, if we go ahead and, well, opening too many things here. Your trinkets are gonna be, by the way, we are going over to the back piece as well. As you see, I have all of my trinkets ready, and I have my back piece ready. Back piece I'll go over as well. I consider that a trinket. I know some people don't, but I do. First, let's go ahead and go over the amulet. The amulet is probably the easiest you can get. You can go ahead and go to the Heart of the Mists here and talk to this vendor here, the Laurel Vendor, and you can actually buy your amulets right here for 30 laurel, right? However, what I do recommend you to do to save yourself some laurels, if you're a new player especially and you don't have a lot of laurels yet, then I do recommend you to go to World vs. World instead. And by the way, guys, they brought back the Alpine Borderlands finally. That's really I'm really excited for that. It was actually in the last patch. I think tomorrow I'm gonna make a video summarizing the last patch, because I think a lot of people didn't notice that a lot of new stuff has been added to the game with the last patch. Not even I noticed. I was playing with Mariah the other day, and I was like, "Hey, there's a patch. What are they adding?" And we didn't really see a difference, but they did add the Alpine Borderlands, and they added some pretty cool new content as well. Yeah, new content, right? Like, we didn't expect that. So yeah, Alpine Borderlands. Oh my god, I missed this place. So anyway, when you get here, or if you happen to be watching this in the future, you'll probably be in the Desert Borderlands. But let me open my dailies real quick. You want to find the Laurel Vendor here, and the Laurel Vendor is right up ahead. Now here you can actually get the amulet for a reduced price. It doesn't cost you 30 laurels anymore. It actually only costs you 25 laurels. However, the trick is you need to have 250 badges of honor. Look at me, I have over 1,000. If you've done World vs. World at least a little bit, you probably have badges of honor. So just go buy it here. It doesn't cost you much. Oh, 20 laurels. They've actually reduced this price even more. They used to be 25, now they're 20 laurels. Wow. This is great. Alright, so awesome. You can actually save yourself 10 laurels by just getting badges of honors. Now, when you have this amulet, I do recommend you also get an infusion. And the infusions are... where are they? Where are the infusions? Oh, you can't buy them here. That's why. Okay, we gotta go back to PvP. Now, the infusions are basically kind of like Agony Infusion. You know how Agony Infusions give you Agony Resistance? You can place that into your Ascended gear to help yourself, like, you know, go to higher fractal levels. Well, the Amulet Infusion happens to be related to PvE. You can relate it to World vs. World. If you saw in the previous list we were just in, there were some World vs. World infusions you can get. So if you do lots of World vs. World, you may want to get one of those. However, I think one of the better choices to get for your amulet is to get some of these PvE infusions. I think they're called infusions, right? Because what you'll notice is, if we scroll down here, yeah, here we go. What you'll notice, we have a gold infusion, a magical infusion, a Karmic Infusion, and Experience Infusion. So if you want to boost your Magic Find, go ahead and get the Magical Infusion. If you want to get more gold, get the Gilded Infusion. You want to get more Karma, get the Karmic Infusion. But what I highly recommend you do is get the Experienced Infusion, because now with Mastery points, you know, with the Heart of Thorns maps getting double the experience from kills, you can even boost that even higher now with this specific Experience Infusion. It's a plus 20%. It's basically like a free permanent booster for your experience. And this applies to Core Terrier Masteries, this applies to Heart of Thorns Masteries. So Amulet is really important to get. I think the Amulet, generally the trinkets in general, they boost your stats a lot higher compared to exotics than the gear and weapons, which is why the trinkets are so important to get, because they do make a difference compared to the armor and the weapon. Admittedly, they don't make a huge difference, but they do kind of make a small difference still. But yeah, so I recommend you get an Amulet here, and then also from World vs. World, get it, and then buy an Experience Infusion. That's what I got. You can get some of the other ones if you want. If you already have all your experience maxed, obviously there's no point in getting it. And you can constantly switch these out. You can constantly put in new ones. So if one day you don't want to have the experienced one, you can always, you know, switch it out with another one here. So yeah, that's basically your Amulet. Now for your rings, the rings are also fairly easy to get. You can buy them here, I believe. Ascended Gear. This is, yeah, you can buy them here. You can buy them for 35 laurels, right? But once again, if you don't have a lot of laurels, I really don't recommend you to buy them here. Besides, laurels are very useful for other things as well, so I wouldn't recommend you buy your rings here. What I would actually recommend you do is to buy your rings from the Fractal Vendor. And the same argument goes for the accessories here. You can buy your accessories with globs of ectoplasm, and you can buy them with laurels, but I mean, look at this. You need 100 globs of ectoplasm, and you'll basically need 80 laurels. It's just a lot. So I'll be telling you how to get the accessories in a second. But if we go to fractals real quick, and while we go there, I guess I'll explain. So basically, in the fractals instance, there is one vendor where you can buy the ascended rings with pristine fractal relics. Now, whenever you do a fractal, usually you get one pristine fractal relic every day, right? And sometimes you'll basically get pristine fractal relics from doing the daily fractals, or you'll get them from like a rare drop. I think it's only limited to like one a day or so, unless they've changed that. I've gotten my rings a long time ago. So if you just do fractals every day, eventually you'll get, I think it's 12. I think you need 20 pristine fractal relics, because each of them costs 10. And you can then buy your rings just by that. And fractals are so incentivized today, they're so rewarding now, and they've really made them worthwhile doing, that I do highly recommend you to do fractals instead, rather than just use your 80 laurels and 100 globs. That's really expensive. That's like what, that's like 30 silver times, that's like 300 gold there, literally. Because that's how you need 100 globs, and globs are like 30 silver each, so that's like, I think 300 gold, right? Isn't it? 30 times 100 is 300, right? Or is that, yeah, well, it's 3,000, but converting it to gold, that would be 300 gold, if I'm not wrong. But whatever. If you talk to, no, not this guy, if you talk to this guy right here, the gold golem, you'll see for 10 pristine fractals, you have 119. So if you do fractals a lot, you would probably have a ton of these already. And you see, it doesn't cost you laurels, it doesn't cost you globs, it only costs you pristine fractal relics. And you can then buy these for 10. And yeah, so that's how I got mine. That's how I recommend you get yours, because it's a lot easier to get. Now, one thing to note, this applies for your accessories, it applies for your amulets, it applies for your rings. Certain stats, especially the new stat types, the ones that give you like 4 stat types, some of these you won't find here. In fact, there's no 4 stat types here. They're all 3. Celestial obviously is there. But some of the 4, oh, okay, these are here. But some of the newer ones are probably not going to be found in World vs. World, or not. They're not going to be found at some Laurel vendors, because you have to buy them from, I think, the vendors in the specific maps, especially with some of the Heart of Thorns released stat types. Some of these you have to buy with map currency, I believe, in the specific maps. I suggest looking at the wiki. I'll definitely be leaving a wiki link in the description showing you a whole list of all the trinkets you can get, a whole list of all the rings, and you'll basically see where you can get them from. But I do know you can't get all of them from these vendors. There are some rare ones, some select few, that if you want that stat type, you have to buy it with a different currency to a specific map, because I do remember seeing that. So that's basically your amulet and your rings, right? Now for your accessories, the way you're going to have to do this is really just, I recommend you to do it by going to your guild hall and converting your guild commendations for the accessories. Now, like I said, and like you saw in the previous vendors, you can buy your accessories once again with tons of laurels and with tons of globs of ectoplasm, but why would you want to do that when you can just get them relatively easy from...
Follow your dream.
What NPC is this? Oh, the guild direction. I thought I never saw the NPC before, but I have. Is the NPC here? I don't think the NPC is in your guild hall, is it? You may have to go into the... Oh wow, look at that! We just got a second reset. What a great time to log on! Like, don't you just love that? I think I don't know where the NPC is exactly. So let me go to the Lion's Arch and actually go there because I don't know where the NPC is in here. All right, so here we're in Lion's Arch. If you go to this waypoint right here, the postern ward. And you go into the guild headquarters, which everyone has access to, then there's actually a vendor in here that I know sells. I know exactly where he is because everything's like really small here. And he's right over here. So if you talk to this person right here, you can actually buy your... accessories here for 5 gold and 12 guild commendations. Now, the guild commendations you can basically get through completing guild missions. And if your guild does guild missions, then you probably have a ton of these already. If you don't have a guild, I recommend joining a guild. There are some guilds that are constantly recruiting an LFG. If you go to LFG, you'll actually see certain guilds. I wouldn't know where they are right now because they used to be an open world. There are some guilds who basically are looking for people to help with guild missions. In fact, that's how I actually joined this guild right here, because I found them in LFG. They were saying, oh, we're doing guild missions, and I was like, hey, why not join the guild? So I do recommend you join the guild and tag along with some guild missions. The guild missions don't take very long at all, and once you have 24 of these, you can basically buy both of your accessories. If you wanna go ahead and buy 100 ectoplasm and use 80 laurels, then I guess you could do that too, but I just think that's kind of a waste. I've kind of been just doing this way, and in about 4 more guild combinations I can get my berserker accessories. So that's basically how you get your accessories. Now for the backpack, it's a bit more difficult and it's a bit more time consuming. I recommend you guys to get the Maudry back piece, and the reason why is because back pieces can be infused, and what infused means is that you can add an extra infusion slot. As you see right here, I have 2 infusion slots. I have one where versatile infusion slots in, and I have a plus 11 agony infusion, right? You have 2 slots compared to the accessories, you only have 1 slot. So if you get your backpack infused, you can have 2 of these slots. If you don't get it infused, you only have 1 of these slots. Now, if you don't make Maudry, you'll basically, if you make one of the other back pieces, which already cost a ton of T6 materials, the other back pieces are a lot more expensive than Maudry is. Maudry really isn't expensive, it's just you have to remember to get the materials every day. If you don't remember every day, then it'll take a long time. So it's sort of time gated. Maudry is sort of time gated, but I think it is the best choice because to get it infused, it's literally a piece of cake. All you need is, I think, is like a glob of coagulated, what is it called? 1 glob of coagulated mist essence, which you get from fractals, a gift of ascension, which I think you get from the Mystic Forge lady, and 10 piles of crystalline dust, right? That's how you basically turn Maudry into an infused backpack. If you want to turn any other backpack into infused, you need 250 globs of ectoplasm, which is a huge load of gold. So that's why I recommend you guys to definitely craft Maudry, because you'll have a much easier time infusing it. Plus, the quest to craft Maudry is pretty fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, going to the specific fractals that you needed, growing the plant, and the whole thing. But obviously, if you don't have, you do need to craft Maudry, you do need to have access to, I believe it's, I don't want to give you guys wrong information, but I think it's Dragon Reach Part 2. It may be Dragon Reach Part 1 or Dragon Reach Part 2 if I don't remember correctly. I think it's Dragon Reach Part 2. If I'm wrong, someone correct me in the comments, but I think you need to have access to Dragon Rage Part 2 to craft Madri. That's the only condition there, which kind of sucks, because if you don't have access to it, then, well, you can't really craft Madri. If you guys want me to make a video on how to craft Madri, I can definitely do that. I really enjoyed it, and maybe I'll make the back piece for another one of my characters. But yeah, the quest to craft Madri is pretty fun. I enjoyed it. So that's basically how you get your backpack, and once you've infused it, then you're good to go. The other things you cannot infuse any of these. Well, you can infuse rings, but I've already covered that in my fractals video. If you want to check that out, I basically show you how to infuse these. You can't infuse your amulet, and you can't infuse your accessories though. So that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you can at least get your trinkets. Armor and weapon is a bit harder to get for Ascended, but trinkets are very easy, and they do make a difference. You can notice a difference in your combat and in your damage, so I highly recommend you to get them. And yeah, thank you for watching. As always, if you haven't seen the other Ascended guides and you're interested in making them, I'll leave links in the description. Also, I'll leave some annotations on screen right now. If you want to make your full set of Ascended gear, we have guides for that too. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. If not, I'll see you guys Saturday, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to record a video tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. I hope that this video helped you out in any way. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It'll really help me out. If you didn't like it, you can leave a comment below as well and give some feedback. If you have any other comments or questions, please leave them in the comments as well. And I usually try my best to answer those comments within the next 24 to 48 hours, depending on how busy I am. I also have plenty of other content on my channel about different gaming tutorials, as well as general gaming videos for Guild Wars 2, League of Legends, Minecraft, and any others that you may be interested in. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, check it out. And if you like what you see, you can subscribe too. Would really appreciate it. You can also check out my other channels and social medias as shown on the screen right now. And with that, thank you so much, everyone. And this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.